The following podcast is presented by Hormone Logics. Discover your ageless health.
Welcome to the Ascension Mentality Podcast. This is Amy Wilhelmy and my co-host.
Hey everyone, I am Matt Wilhelmy, and today we have a wonderful guest, Melissa Busta. Did I say it right?
Busta, like Busta rhymes.
Melissa Busta. She was waiting to correct me on that one.
I feel like every time I see your name, I'm just like Busta rhymes. Like,
of course, how could you not be?
Now you'll never be able to forget me.
Yep, that's true.
She is an IFBB Pro, and she just won her pro card this year. And so we're here to talk about her journey and kind of how she got from A to B and learn more about her. So welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So I'd love to kind of start. So Melissa and I actually met each other in person at a show. We were at a national show, and we
Which
were
one?
just... Which one?
Universe.
Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at Universe.
We were sitting in the hallway together, freezing our butts off.
Yeah.
Was that Nashville?
No,
Or was that
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we were sitting in the hallway. It was freezing in there. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, it was so cold.
And well, you were wearing clothing.
And it was still freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, you were wearing nothing.
We were wearing nothing in the hallway. And you can't like put a lot of clothing on it because then you're going to mess up the tan. So we were just like, ugh. Anyway, we met each other and then figured out that we were almost neighbors because you live around here in Illinois, right? And so we're like, just got to talking and got along really well and kind of were buddies. So
Wait, is that the show where you got your pro card?
No, we met again at the second show.
yeah, she went to the second show too.
Sweet.
Yeah. So
How's it feel to have your pro card?
I don't know. I kind of expected it to be like, and that first day it was. And now I'm like, it's just a little paper card you put in your wallet. So I think until I step on that stage, like the pro stage. Yeah. I've had a few more sponsors interested in me.
There we go.
That's good.
Other than that, I'm just normal old Melissa still.
You didn't get like a pro, like a tattoo or anything, or
Not quite that hardcore.
No.
Well, one of the things, Melissa, I'm really interested in learning a little bit about you is your vegan lifestyle. I think that a lot of people don't really understand what that means. They think it's weird, but you're winning pro cards and you're vegan, so it's obviously doing something right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the why I stepped on stage, I think.
Yeah.
If you want to just get into that.
Let's just
dive
jump
in.
into it.
Sure. Yeah. I've been vegan for about 8 years now. And I worked for the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine in Washington, D.C. And there are a bunch of medical minded people coming together and doing a lot of research, and they've got a doctor's office, but it's like a little vegan bubble there, so everybody knows about what we eat and why we do what we do. And then I moved to Illinois, and nobody knows what vegan is.
No.
So you kind of have to.
This is the Midwest. Come on.
Yeah. What? You don't eat dairy?
Gotta eat lots of
Dairy. Yeah.
So I got a lot of questions about how do you build muscle or where do you get your protein? And a lot of people, they just wouldn't believe it. I thought, well, what's the way I can show them, in bodybuilding? So why not just try to step on a stage, see what I can do?
There you go. So where do you get your protein then? If you're not eating a ton of meat?
Actually,
That's like my first question. How's it work?
every food has protein.
Really?
Yeah, even oranges have protein. So the amount of protein you need when you're stepping on a bodybuilding stage is a lot more than what you can get from just oranges. So I did a lot of like lentils, tofu, soy, edamame, and then you
have to eat a lot of edamame to build some protein, right?
So the good thing about all this is it's all loaded with a lot of fiber. So a lot of the girls go into these shows, you're really hungry. They're just eating like maybe chicken breasts and a little bit of broccoli or rice or something. Yeah. And I was full all the time because I have so much fiber in my diet. I'm getting a lot of protein from that and the fiber, the macronutrients. I felt like I recovered a lot better. It was a fun time for me. And I've heard it can be
grueling for everyone.
So your muscles felt a lot more full? Or is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah. And my coach liked the look of it as well. So they usually try to like carb deplete you a little bit. And my coach just kept carb feeding me again and again and again. So even the day before I woke up about to step on stage and he's like, let's feed you more. So I was never that angry. I was always pretty happy girl.
And how long have you been working with that coach?
So my very first show I stepped on stage was Fit Body Fusion. They were awesome, and I won my overall there. And then that was Sydney Gillen's Peach Classic. So her coach came to me, and I started working with him shortly after, and we went straight to the pro card with that. So I'd only been with Damien for about 2 months. Yeah. And Fit Body Fusion for about 6 months before all that. So I'm new to all this. Amy might be able to answer a lot more questions than I can with this.
I just think like of all the guests we've had, and Amy, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any of them have been IFBB athletes, right?
No, a lot of them are pros.
They're all NPC.
No, IFBB is the pro league of NPC.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're in the right
right league.
Okay. So, what's kind of next then? Because I think, kind of before we started recording, you were talking about a different competition that you're doing these days. Tell us a little bit about that.
I yesterday just competed in my second strongman competition. I got first. I'm lightweight still. Well, I think I'll always be lightweight. The heavyweight girls are.
You're pretty tiny, so I don't know.
Yeah. I would like to build a little bit more muscle. All the judges, after stepping on stage with the bodybuilding, wanted me to build my glutes and my lower half anyway. So I think all these deadlifts that we were doing is a good thing. Help. But yesterday I deadlifted a car and I pulled a truck. And it's pretty serious.
So I've seen like strongman on TV, like every once in a while. There's like these enormous guys that are pulling the tractor. Or what? That's what you. That's
what we did yesterday.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just the little one out there doing.
So do you have a community, like a gym that does that?
Yeah, I just found them.
Okay.
So I started training for it for it was maybe a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and my coach for that, he holds multiple world records. He's been to Olympia as well. Wow. So I think I happen into these people that know what the heck they're doing. And they're like, we can do this with you. Yeah.
One of the things that Amy's talked about on this podcast is the power of a coach. There's so many women that for whatever reason, maybe it's finances or trust, or they think they can do it themselves. And just like they can't, they fail pretty quickly. There's no accountability. There's no format. I know Amy's coach has done really great, things for her. And so if you could just for a minute kind of talk about that coach relationship, because I think that's where a lot of women get tripped up. They don't, like I said, it's either trust, maybe it's finances. How did you like kind of overcome that? And
it's so important. And I would never have even come close to where I am today without my coaches. Just having not only the accountability, but for you to be able to trust them. You have dark days where you're like, what am I getting myself into? And can I do it? And your coach is there just saying, trust the process. And you need someone to be able to just like help you along. And even in the good days too, because, you have someone that saw you in those dark hours and were able to help lift you up. And then you have someone to celebrate with, it's easy for everybody to see coming out on top, but nobody really knows what went into all that. Yeah. And that relationship is really, really important. The strongman coach is been awesome. And all these other coaches that have led me there. And being brand new to the bodybuilding community, like I didn't even know the difference between NPC and IFBB either. And, those coaches just talk you through all of it. And there's so much that goes into it. The nutrition component, the mental component, my goodness, there's so much more that goes into that than I had any clue about.
For sure. Yeah. So tell us kind of like back it up into 8 years prior. How did you just decide to be vegan one day?
Oh, yes. This is an interesting story. So I am a nurse and I was going through nursing school. So I went vegetarian first and then later on went vegan. So this is when I was just omnivore, eating like normal, but I'm from Colorado originally. So we always ate pretty healthy. Yeah. My mom would put bananas in our Easter baskets, and I could only have 2 pieces of candy, for the Halloween. And so we kind of ate healthy, but my husband's prior military. So we were stationed in Mississippi at the time. And I knew a lot of what they were eating down south.
Oh, not good.
Very healthy.
Yeah.
Hearty.
Yeah. You can call
full
it
of
that.
friedness.
Tastes really good.
Very fried. Yes.
Yes. So in nursing school, we do these externships and we were in the OR that day. And at this particular hospital, they have a fried chicken Wednesday.
Well,
at the hospital.
At the hospital.
Nice.
And it is so popular. It sells out in the first hour.
I bet.
If you don't get there in the first hour, you don't get your fried chicken.
Right.
So we're in the OR and we were waiting on the surgeon to scrub in. The patient's sedated. We're all sitting there like, what? Where is he at? He came in about like a couple of minutes later.
The surgeon or the patient?
From eating the fried chicken.
The patient's sedated.
Okay.
The surgeon came in later,
Got it.
holding his hands up saying, took me extra long to scrub the fried chicken grease off my hands.
Ugh.
Yeah. And here he had just had bariatric surgery, lost 100 pounds.
Oh,
And
no.
we're about to do an open heart surgery
Yikes.
where it's pretty intense. They saw open the sternum, they cracked open the ribs, and then we were pulling these atherosclerotic plaques out of the arteries. They look like the
What
fat
kind
on
of
the
plaques?
side of a
You just dropped a really big medical word.
Yeah.
A what?
atherosclerotic plaques. It's
The stuff that gets stuck in your arteries.
all the cholesterol
fat.
and when people have a stroke or something, sometimes these plaques have been they've come off and gone to the brain or the heart or very dangerous. You don't want
Okay.
them.
You don't want them. It looks like worms or something. Kind of like
Like
Gross.
it's like that fat on the side of the chicken breast that you cut off. It was kind of just like a white.
Yep.
That'll make you lose your appetite.
Yeah. So the light bulb kind of went off. What are
What
we
is
putting in
causing
our
this?
bodies
Yeah.
that are causing these diseases? But don't worry, I'm in nursing school. I'll learn about this, right? Nursing school went by and I did not have a nutrition course.
Oh my gosh.
We did talk a little bit about food, but it was things that you would only hear of in
the food pyramid, like the dairy and the meat and the
and things in developing countries too, like scurvy or something that you'd never see here that we would
Right.
never be treating in the hospital. So I was kind of like, let me look into this a little bit more. And the more I went down the rabbit hole, the more I learned.
So is that, I just want to hang on. So I don't know, like if every nursing program has no nutrition, is that just maybe the one that you went through or is that
Well-
pretty like common? There's no nutrition
Very
education
little.
in
It's
Very
very
nursing?
little. We
Okay.
did have a little bit of it. Yeah. But even a lot of the doctors, they don't get a lot of nutrition and of course not how to reverse diseases or prevent them. Right. It's more
doctors
of-
don't take mental health either. They usually have like one behavioral health class. That's
Well, they
it.
definitely don't take business school, but we're not here to talk about that.
But
Yeah.
isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
I mean, where these doctors that are essentially, in
Yeah.
charge of all these other aspects of your life or that you'd go to that you'd hope could be a good
Yeah.
source for that.
no behavioral health?
So Melissa, you're standing in the OR, you're looking at this gross stuff come out of this guy and you're like, I need to change my diet. That's the moment.
Well, I'm thinking, how the heck do all these chronic diseases happen? Isn't it what we're putting in our mouths? So
Yeah.
I started, I'm a big documentary person, but you can't just watch the documentary and then take that for face value, right? So
No.
let's look into where are they getting their sources and where do they, so yeah, I'm big into research, started looking at it all. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into the food what we put in our bodies and then how it affects us after.
So instead of sitting down for a nice big juicy burger, right? Because that's not your thing. Like, what is your go-to cheat meal? 'Cause I'm
No,
sure-
I love burgers.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Just like
I'll
plant-based.
Oh,
down
plant-based.
an Impossible or a Beyond Meat
They're really
burger.
good these days. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm a pizza girl. I love Mexican food, all of that. It's just mine looks a little different.
Got it.
Maybe the cheese doesn't melt as much, but they've got some tasty cheeses nowadays.
So what's your go-to cheat meal then?
The burger.
The burger.
fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, Matt likes dairy-free ice cream, so he's like into the Ben and Jerry's dairy-free.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had
Really good.
Nadamu? Not to drop these name
No,
brands, but try the Nadamu. It's very,
Not
very
a
good.
moo.
Mhm.
Okay.
Got it.
I will.
Yeah.
Are you lactose intolerant? Is this why?
I think my body just appreciates the lower amounts of dairy. Like I'll have almond milk, which is dairy free, and but I'll eat just a little bit of cheese here and there. So it's not
And
like
I don't eat dairy at all, so
I just
yeah.
I think like when you're growing up, like your mom, well at least my mom would say like, hey, you got to finish your milk in your bowl, or have a glass of milk. It's good for your teeth, or there's cheese on everything, and I just don't think as an adult that's like way too much for me. I don't know if
Yeah.
I haven't really been ever tested for it, but I just think for my body to be healthy, I've noticed when I eat way too much dairy, like if I have a huge deep dish cheese pizza, followed by tons of ice cream, like it's not a good couple of days.
And have you tried all the milks? There's everything nowadays, like oat milk.
I mean, probably
and
not.
almond milk and silk, and my
Yeah.
goodness, you can milk anything.
You can milk anything.
It's a Fokker reference.
Yeah. Sure is. Meet the Fockers.
Yeah. So how soon after this research tunnel were you like, okay, I'm done?
Oh, So my husband was deployed for 8 months. And when he came home, I was like, guess what, honey? We're vegan. What? He's been kind of into the lifting thing, chicken and broccoli and rice. And so that was a little bit of a transition period where he would make his own meals and I would make mine. And it worked sometimes, but we moved to Europe. And I was like, surely Europe, I mean, they're known for
innovation.
A lot better, a lot better nutrition. They've got
health conscious.
Exactly. Yeah. We were going to Germany. And so you have these little markets, you go to these little stalls, fresh fruits and veggies, every town has their own little butcher, their own little baker. It's so cute. Right. Yeah. So like, surely they're going to do it better there. Okay. So, I went there, started looking into it. No, they have the same like CAFOs, the big farm houses that hold all of these antibiotic ridden animals. And they didn't do it any better. So it was kind of a little transition there. But I would say maybe it took me like a whole year to go through that process of like, okay, let me just see, I'll do fish for a little while and then I'll do, but then afterwards it's quite easy. It's just habits. Just like with bodybuilding, you just have to set that alarm. You got to get up early. You got to do your cardio. You just go to the stores and you start looking for the alternatives. And it's not difficult once you get in it and you know it.
Right.
I think a lot of people, at least Amy and I have talked to you about our sobriety. Think of it similar. So we've been sober at this point a little bit over 2 years, and people kind of look at us like we're aliens.
Yeah, they're like, what?
How do you just like nothing, like not even like a cheat drink? And we're like,
it's just like out of our system at this point.
If it's not in the house and we don't think about it, like,
I mean, even though sometimes it is in our house, our neighbor brought over a bottle of wine the other day and we opened the wine for her. It's not a big deal. Right. But it is just like a lifestyle. Like, okay, I'm just making this choice for my lifestyle
and a choice every day. Yeah. I could go out and eat something. You guys could go out, drink something, it's just a continuous choice that you just have to make. And I think the same with lifting. You can decide not to go to the gym one day, it's just what you want and what your motivations are.
Yeah. So we didn't even tell this story, but
hey, Amy, we have a great sponsor on board, Hormone Logics.
Yeah, they're actually my hormone doctors, so I think they're pretty awesome. They do hormone replacement therapies to revive energy and strength so that you can continue to feel younger longer. They do bioidentical hormones, menopause therapy, andropause therapy.
They help men with things like ED, low T, sleep regulation.
They help you to have a more satisfying sex life, improved mood, improved cognition, healthier skin, bones, and hair.
How does somebody get in touch with Hormone Logics?
You can visit their website at www.hormonelogics.com. Stop missing out on living your best life and be the best version of yourself. Like, so your bodybuilding career was so short and then you won a pro card. Tell us about how many shows you did, how long that took. That was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. I was with Fit Body Fusion, I think it was 6 months before I went on my first show. My coach was David DiMasquita. He's incredible. And he saw this progression of just easily cutting me down and building what we needed to. And he's like, let's not just put you on a little local stage. Let's do a big one. The first one. Yeah. So the first one, Sandy was at the main NPC judge. She was going to be there and it was Sydney Gillen's Peach Classic. And I flew out to Atlanta for it. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even know the amount of tan I was going to have to put on. And thank goodness for all those people. And the coach, I'm telling you, the coach knows everything. We stepped on stage and won my first in true novice, first in novice, first in the open, and then first overall. So I went home with a cool little crown. Oh my gosh,
your
it was incredible.
Cool.
Is it that crown?
Yes. So this is
a huge
the bottom.
crown.
Yeah.
I love the crown. Yeah. You're like, wait, how do I get this home in my suitcase?
It was so much fun. I wore that thing to the airport. Are you kidding me?
So that's 6 months of training. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
So what were you doing before you started training? Because I think a lot of people, if they're overweight or they're not healthy or they're just not athletes, it's going to take a lot longer than 6 months, right? So you have to have been doing something or you had to have some sort of athletic kind of thing that you were doing. I
ran track in high school. And then my freshman year, I was on the varsity track. And then, but then that was it. I stopped after my freshman year. I I should have.
You were
gone
playing
along.
varsity. You were running varsity as a freshman.
Yeah.
So you were pretty fast.
Yeah, I did pole vault. So I have that upper body strength as well. Yeah. But I'm telling you, if I would have had a coach, if I would have had like a life trainer, like someone to like push me along a little bit more, I just fell off. And, I kind of went to the gym here and there. My husband came into the picture and he's military and worked out a lot. And so I always just went to the gym with him. So that's where I started my upper bodybuilding. He always did, chest and shoulders. And so I was in there doing it with him. And now the judges are saying I need more lower body. So darn, I can't work out with him as much anymore.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's what every judge says, right? Like,
Well, bikini.
Bikini. Mm-hmm.
You win from the back.
Yeah. So I did that Sydney Gillen Peach Classic with the overall. And I went to the pros then. Damien, Sydney Gillen's coach, became my coach. And he's like, we can turn you pro and quickly. And I'm like, what is all this? Like, it was
Like, I don't
such
even know
a
what you're talking about.
whirlwind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no, in 1 month we'll go out there. And I'm like, no. The judges said I need to build. Like, I need to build a lower body. And he's like, no, we'll cut it away. We'll show them the muscle underneath it all. So I had, like maybe a little bit of a softer look for the Sydney Gillen. And so we just cut and cardio and did a lot of mobility. Mobility training helped the muscles pop a lot.
what is mobility training? I'm not sure I know exactly what that is.
A lot of like rolling, and beforehand, it's not so much making the muscles like tear down. It's more like building them back up. It's allowing them to have that recovery. So we take balls and we like roll and roll and roll. Yeah. Like get them nice and plumped up and like loosened up. Like one of my glutes is just like stuck in, and you can lift all day long. And if that glute's not going to build, if it's
Is that just
injured,
like press out the lactic acid from the muscles? Is that the science behind it?
we would have to
You're like, I
No,
don't know.
we're not sure.
Ask
It's
the
okay.
I can
nurse.
talk about cardiac, the cardiac nurse, but yeah,
Okay.
no, that would be a good question for the trainer.
I'm just wondering what the science is behind the foam roller, because I see people at the gym doing the foam roller, and like I can't really do it. I don't know. I lay on it, and like my body weight's I think too much, and so it's like it hurts. To do the foam roller.
It's grueling. I did the ball, like the little lacrosse ball,
Okay,
and you're just like
You do that with
grinding
your
out.
foot.
I do it with my foot,
Yeah.
trying to help build those little muscles.
Yeah, I think the idea behind it is to have more blood flow to that area. So if you have a lot of scar tissue, built up stuff, you're not going to be able to build it. But like if you can loosen it up, fluff it out, then you can show that you have a little bit more than what I would be able to build in the 1 month that I'm about to step on
that
stage again.
1 month, I want to talk about that for a minute, because you said you did this show where you got the crown, and then a month later you did another show where you won. And your coach cut you, and
Well, that was Universe.
Yep.
I got third in that.
okay.
So winning,
I guess
I don't know.
What I'm wondering though
not
is like,
first or last.
Third in nationals, her second show.
huge
ever.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what that month looked like for you, because it sounds like hell.
Oh yeah.
So what were you eating or not eating? What were you working out like 8 hours a day? Like
Good
what
question.
was what was that month like?
It wasn't that
Because
bad.
it wasn't like, oh, it's an easy month, like whatever.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't that bad. I'm telling
on.
you.
They're just cutting her. I mean, if she's eating more
Okay,
than
but what does that
most
mean? Help me
athletes.
out.
So
What does that
my
mean?
cardio beforehand, it went up a little. So my cardio was like 30 minutes, but keeping my heart rate below 120. Not that big of
Below
a deal.
120?
Yeah, he didn't want me to like lose my muscle and stuff. Okay. And then I swap over coaches and he's like, we're going to have to cut down some of that fat in your lower half. They think you need more muscle there. We'll just show them the muscle that you already have. So it was now 30 minutes of cardio, getting your heart rate above 130. So it was a little bit more cardio in the gym, and
Like 20 minutes more? Like
30 minutes
more?
anyway.
So it's the
Just
same 30
raising
minutes.
your
Just
heart
raising
rate
your heart
more
rate. Yeah.
intense.
So now I'm like doing sprints instead of like walking on a gradual incline.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The water and the salt was like played with a lot more. Yeah. Damien knows what he's talking about with all that. I mean, he has tons of pros. Sydney Gillen, he has a lot of Olympians, Whitney Jones, all of those kind of people. So it was that kind of manipulation. My diet did get stricter, a lot more. So
This is Amy Wilhelmy. I'm the owner of Balance Wellness Collective. It's a holistic and integrative mental health practice located in St. Charles, Illinois, and telehealth. All of Illinois, we see individuals, adults, families, children, and adolescents. We are primarily family focused and also do divorce mediation. It is a mind, body, and spirit approach to care. You can find us at www.balancewellnesscollective.com.
Have you ever been stuck in life? Have I got a book for you? Ascension Mentality, written by Amy Wilhelmi, public speaker, athlete, and licensed therapist. In her book, Amy takes us through a raw and vulnerable journey as she unravels from childhood trauma and navigates her career, marriage, and parenthood. She takes us on a deep dive into her life and how when emotions are left unprocessed, they seep into adulthood as she tries to navigate the task of growing up. You cannot change what you did. You cannot change what has happened to you, but you can change how you feel about it. You can let go of what is holding you back. When you process and unwind trauma, you don't lose what made you strong. You only lose what no longer serves you to ultimately be a better human, friend, parent, partner, coworker, daughter or son, and leader. It's time to let go. Ascension Mentality.
This has been an Ascension Mentality podcast. Hit subscribe for all the latest episodes. For more information, visit ascensionmentality.com. Ascension Mentality, making mental gains.